Hello, dear students. Good morning to all of you. In last video, we have studied about transistor biasing, emitter bias and collector to base bias circuits. Today we will go through the transistor biasing part 2. That is another biasing circuit. Here I am Lalit Kumar P. Bhaiya, Associate Professor, Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering Department. Let us see the remaining part of the transistor biasing. The another circuit is the voltage divider bias. The most important and widely used method of biasing a transistor is voltage divider method. In this method, a DC bias voltage at base of transistor is developed by the resistive voltage divider consisting R1 and R2. Let us see circuit. This is voltage divider bias. Here this R1 and R2 will divide the voltage, and this VCC through R1 and R2 will be provided to the base. So whatever is the drop across R2 will be provided to the base, and hence it is called as voltage divider bias. This R1 and R2 is the voltage divider. This is the emitter resistor RE. This is collector resistor. This is emitter, base and collector. This is NPN type transistor, NPN. Emitter is N type, base is P type and collector is N type, because arrow of the emitter is outside. And this voltage is the collector to emitter voltage shown here. This is collector current IC, base current IB and emitter current IB. And let us say these are the two currents shown here, I1 through R1 and I2 through R2, and VCC is the supply. So this is called as voltage divider bias. If the base current IB is smaller than I2, then bias circuit can be viewed as a voltage divider consisting this R1 and R2. Let us see this one, this voltage divider. However, if IB is not smaller enough to be neglected, then the DC input resistance must be considered. So these are the basic things. Bias compensation. After this biasing, compensation is must. For what we need the compensation? In order to maintain the operating point Q, that is IC and VC, constant, two techniques are generally used. Number one is the stabilization technique and number two is the compensation technique. In stabilization technique refers to the use of resistive biasing circuits such as in self-biasing circuit or base bias circuit. The stabilization techniques are used. While in case of the compensation technique, refer to the use of temperature sensitive devices such as diode, transistor, thermistor, etc. So for temperature compensation, we need the compensation technique. While for bias stabilization, we need the stabilization technique. So stabilization technique is used generally in the base bias circuit or emitter bias circuit, while compensation are used with the temperature dependent resistors and diodes or thermistors. Compensation technique using diodes and compensation using thermistor and sensistor. Thermistors are having the positive temperature coefficients, while sensistors are the negative temperature coefficients. Using diode, compensation for VB, you can see this diagram. This base to emitter voltage is compensated with respect to temperature using this diode, and compensation can be done. This is for your reference. Diode compensation for ICO if base to collector junction is reverse bias and its reverse saturation current is ICO, then reverse bias diode is used to compensate this ICO. The reverse saturation current of this diode and reverse saturation current of this transistor will be automatically cancelled, or you can say compensated. So this is compensation against the ICO. As there is a change in any change in temperature in the transistor junction, the ICO will change. The same temperature change will also change the reverse current of the diode, and hence both currents will be compensated. Then thermistor compensation. This resistance from this collector to emitter, this is a common collector configuration. Emitter is grounded. This temperature dependent device is used here. That is, we call it as a thermistor. This thermistor, transducer, you can say type of transducer. Thermistor is a device in which the resistance changes according to the change in temperature. So using this thermistor we can compensate this ICO also. This is the voltage divider bias circuit, and along with this voltage divider bias we use this thermistor. So compensation technique is used along with this thermistor. What is thermal runway? Very important part while studying this compensation technique or stabilization is the thermal runway. Thermal runway refers to a situation where an increase in temperature changes the conditions in a way that causes a further increase in temperature, leading to a structural results. It is a kind of positive feedback. In BJT, generally germanium based BJT increases significantly in leakage current as they increases in temperature depending on the design of the circuit. This increase in leakage current can increase the current flowing through the transistor and with it the power dissipation. This causes a further increase in collector to emitter current. This is frequently seen in a push-pull stage of the class AB amplifier, which you have not studied, but as an example, if the transistor are biased to have minimal crossover distortion at room temperature and the biasing is not made temperature dependent, as the temperature rises both transistor will increasingly turn on, causing current and power to further increase, eventually destroying one or both devices. So in short, I can tell what is thermal runway. In thermal runway, as the temperature increases, collector current will increase. And as the collector current increases, according to the equation of the transistors, ICO will increase. Or in another way you can say, as the temperature increases, the reverse saturation current of the ICO will be doubled for every 10 degree increase in temperature. And as the ICO increases, the collector current is also increased. IC will increase. And IC increases, again temperature increases. And temperature increases, again ICO will increase. And if ICO increases, again IC will increase, and this process goes continue. This is called as thermal runway. And finally, this thermal runway will cause the more and more heat at the transistor. And finally, transistor may get burned if compensation is not done. So to avoid this thermal runway, we must require the temperature compensation circuit. Either it is a resistor which depends on temperature and that changes to remove or to decrease this ICO. If multiple bipolar transistors are connected in parallel, which is typical in high current applications, one device will enter thermal runaway, first taking the current which originally was distributed across all the devices and exacerbating the problem. This effect is called current hogging. Eventually, one of two things will happen. Either the circuit will stabilize or the transistor in thermal runaway will be destroyed by the heat, as I have already told you. Hence, current hogging term is related to thermal runaway. Therefore, it is must to avoid the thermal runaway. That means we need a compensation, temperature compensation circuit. To avoid the thermal runaway, we must have the temperature compensation circuit. The steady state temperature rise at collector junction is proportional to the power dissipation. This is the mathematical way to show the thermal runaway. Here power dissipation is shown. Tj minus Ta is equal to H of Pd. Pd is the power dissipation, heat. Ta is the ambient temperature and Tj is the junction temperature, where H is a constant of proportionality called as thermal resistance. You can, in place of H, you can write Tr also, RT also, thermal resistance. Its value depends on size of transistor, radiation of surroundings, thermal connection of the devices. The temperature rate at which power dissipation under steady state condition obtained by differentiating above equation with respect to Tj. So this is the differentiation shown here. The maximum collector power dissipation Pc allowed for safe operator is specified at 25 degree. For temperature above this Pc, that is collector power, must decrease. A typical power temperature derating curve is shown below. This is all given in the data sheet of the transistor. Condition to avoid the thermal runaway. How the thermal runaway can be avoided irrespective of the connection of the temperature dependent components. To avoid the thermal runaway, the rate at which heat is released at collector junction must not exceed the rate at heat can be dissipated under steady state condition. So, the rate at which heat released at the collector junction must not be exceeded the rate at which heat can be dissipated under the steady state condition. And mathematically it is given by del Pd upon del Tj should be less than I by H. And what is this H we have seen? Pd is the power dissipated and Tj is the junction temperature. So here, this is all about the stabilization. So transistor biasing circuit and compensation circuit we have seen. This stabilization and compensation is important. As we have seen here, you can see this is voltage divider bias and the thermal runaway in this voltage divider bias are the circuit which are biased properly but thermal runaway occurs. And once again I am telling you what is this thermal runaway. Thermal runaway is a process finally where the transistor may be heated and breakdowns or damage. Why? Because of this thermal runaway. Thermal runaway is the process where initially temperature increases due to operation of the transistor circuit or any other reason temperature increases, and as the temperature increases, this ICO of this reverse bias junction, that is collector to base junction, increases. Reverse saturation current of this reverse bias junction increases. And already you know, for every 10 degree rise in temperature, the reverse saturation current gets doubles. So here the reverse saturation current of this collector to base junction, which is reverse bias, is the ICO. So as the temperature increases, this ICO will get doubles, reverse saturation current of this transistor. And according to the equation developed by the transistor or from the transistor circuit, IC is equal to 1 plus beta times ICO plus VC. 1 plus beta times ICO plus beta times IB, you can say, beta times IB. What is the equation? IC is equal to 1 plus beta times ICO plus beta times IB. Beta times IB is the current due to the input applied. IB is the input base current. And 1 plus beta times ICO is due to the reverse saturation current. So what happens? As the temperature increases, this ICO gets doubles. And according to the equation which I have already told you, if ICO gets doubles, then IC will increase more, 1 plus beta times ICO. So IC will increase more. And as this IC increases, again heat will be produced in the collector to base junction. And again IC will increase and temperature will increase. Again temperature increases, IC will increase. This process continues, called as the thermal runaway. And therefore, in this type of circuit, we must try to avoid this thermal runaway. That means to avoid the damage of the transistor by extra heating, extra increase in temperature. So, what we need to compensate this circuit. Here you can see, I have already shown this compensation technique. This is the compensation for the VBE, base to emitter voltage. This base to emitter voltage will be compensated by this diode. But still in this circuit, there is no compensation against temperature. Somehow the temperature will be reduced because of the ICO here due to this compensation. But this circuit will specially for the compensation for the ICO. So, but natural, the temperature will be reduced by decreasing this value of ICO or cancelling the value of this ICO, change in ICO. Why? Because here is in reverse connection, this diode is used. So, the reverse current of this diode and reverse current of this transistor, collector to base junction, will be compensated by each other. Hence no increase in current will be there. That is no increase in the collector current, as the equation says, IC is equal to 1 plus beta times ICO plus beta times IB. So if ICO will compensate, then there is no increase in the collector current IC, and hence no increase in the heat at the collector to base junction, and transistor will be safe due to damaging. Transistor will be safe from the damaging. So this is also an important part of the compensation. So you can avoid the thermal runaway by using this. In place of this, you can use this RT, that is thermistor resistance. Thermistor you can use, where we can utilize its resistance to change due to increase in the temperature. As the temperature increases, the resistance will change of this thermistor, and due to change in resistance, this collector to emitter voltage will change, because drop across this resistance will be this collector to emitter voltage, and this VCE will change. The ICO of this transistor will be protected to increase, and hence there is no increase in the collector current IC. So here the increase in IC will be avoided due to this thermistor resistance, and hence this is most important compensation technique to avoid the thermal runaway, or to avoid the damage of the transistor due to increase in temperature. And one more circuit you can use using sensistors also, where negative temperature coefficient can be considered. So in place of this RT, some other part you can use the sensistor. You can use the diode in place of this R2 also. Or temperature dependent variation components can be used to avoid the thermal runaway. So dear friends, students, this is also important about your related topic. So you must know this and do the biasing circuit properly and temperature compensation. Thank you very much for listening this video. Thank you all of you. Thank you very much.